So, folks, we are joined this evening in the music room by the one and only Cara McGillion. It's been an absolute pleasure to have Cara on the show this evening. We've been talking backwards and forwards and having a bit of crack now and again, and really absolutely fantastic entertainer of the year, may I say. Definitely coming up there. So, with a wee video here of Cara, and we're gonna play a fit, and then we will hear from the good lady herself. So, this is Cara McGillion and a wee taste of what Cara does.
She was driving last Friday on her way to Cincinnati on a snow-white Christmas Eve. Going home to see her mama and her daddy with the baby in the backseat. 50 miles to go when she was running low on faith and gasoline. It'd been a long, hard year. She had a lot on her mind and she didn't pay attention. She was going way too fast. And before she knew it, she was standing on a thin black sheet of glass. She saw both their lives flash before her eyes. She didn't even have time to cry. She was so scared. She threw her hands up in the air. Jesus, take the wheel. Take it from my hand. 'Cause I can't do this on my own. I'm letting go. Give me one more chance to save me from this road I'm on. Jesus, take the wheel. Oh, take it from me. It was still getting colder when she made it to the shoulder and the car came to a stop. She cried when she saw that baby in the backseat sleeping like a rock. And for the first time in a long time, she bowed her head to pray. She said, I'm sorry for the way I've been living my life. I know I've got to change. So from now on tonight, Jesus, take the wheel. Take it from my hands. 'Cause I can't do this on my own. I'ma let it go. Give me one more chance to save me from this road I'm on. Jesus, take the
absolutely brilliant, and it's a pleasure to have you on. You're so welcome, and we're privileged to have you.
Yeah, keeping well. I'm flat out and busy, so I'm working away in Celtic in a way. I've actually took over the Celtic studio this evening for this because my Wi-Fi is shocking at home, so I'm keeping well and busy.
Well, I think me and you were having a wee bit of conversation about Wi-Fi before. There's definitely must be something in the weather. So, Kat, how did it all start, and where did it all begin, my dear?
Music in general only really started. I've always sung in the chapel. I've always done that from I was a young age. I've been in choirs. I've been in scouted choirs. I've been in the chapel. In terms of singing on my own, it didn't really start until I was first year. So I was about 12 when it started. And I auditioned in school. It was Write Your Own Christmas Song. So I entered that and I won that 3 years in a row. And then it was actually 9 years ago today. My nanny had passed away. So it would have been 2 weeks before today. My nanny had passed away before my uncle got married. But she had asked me, would I please sing a song for him at his wedding? And I was like, oh no, like I don't sing on my own in front of people. Like I'm never going to do that. So I went up to visit her in the city hospital at one stage, and she was like, please, will you do it for me? Obviously, Nanny's lying in hospital. I'm not going to tell her no. So I said, yeah, okay, no problem. And I sang a song for Ireland for her, which is a song I sung at my uncle's wedding. They're 9 years married today, actually. That's how I know. And then come the wedding day, I got up and I sang it. I was a ball of nerves. I'd never sang in front of people before. So from then on, that's when I sort of not as nervous to sing in front of people. In terms of the country music, I've always loved it. I've grew up with country music. Like my granddad Pat, if you'd have walked into his house, I swear to God, it was like a big Tom Hall of Fame, like a big Tom fan club. He was obsessed, and like I suppose the country music sort of came from him, but the singing definitely started. I have to give credit to my nanny for that one.
I think there's definitely an element of always it being in the family, and I know myself, if you went into Nanny and Granda's after school or anything like that, it was definitely Hugo Duncan was on, and half one to three, and it sort of really is instilled into you, and you've been sitting having your cup of tea before heading up the road, and it's really good to see that the country scene is still as young and as thriving as it is. And with young stars like yourself coming through, it's definitely given hope for generations to enjoy what we have enjoyed so far. And it's actually absolutely a pleasure, though, to be able to say that it's not a dying genre of music, which is really, really good to see, especially when things come in and out of fashion. And all being well, that the country music side of things always remain there for many years to come.
No, absolutely. I am forever grateful that it's not going away anytime soon. There's some fabulous, fabulous artists coming up. I mean, it's definitely not a dying industry. It is far from it, and the amount of young talent coming up, like you have Katie McParland, my big sister, who's actually listening in because I have the thing on my side of me. And you have Gavin Gribbon, and you have Shane, and all of those ones coming up. It's definitely not going anywhere anytime soon.
No, definitely not. And moving then, obviously, from singing obviously in the chapel and then singing at your uncle's wedding and everything like that, where has music then taken you since then, Katie? Or I just ring Katie, you doing great, sister. And where's you be going then from there then, Cal?
From there, it's taken me. I don't even know how to describe it. It's taken me places I never thought. Music has definitely took me places I never thought I would be. My first proper gig, my first 2 hours on my own, and when I eventually got up and gigging was at Shane's Castle, the steam rally that they hold every year up in Antrim. I got playing on the Friday night for the residents there, and then joined on the
Yeah.
Saturday. But like it's took me places like that. I done Merriad and Low last year. I was all the way down in Dublin, other side of Dublin, at Full of the Pipe last year with Paul Kelly and Clodagh Lawler. So it's definitely taken me the length and breadth of Ireland anyway, and hopefully it still takes me there. But it's helped my confidence a lot. Um, definitely I'm slightly different than I was before I started because I was never usually quiet, and everybody will tell you I was never quiet, but it's definitely helped the talking anyway.
Well, to be honest with yourself, with your personality and being outgoing and bubbly, you're absolutely rocking the scene, Cara. You're absolutely rocking the scene. So, Cara, obviously, you had then the albums out and everything like that, and you're working with Celtic, and everything is moving really, really fast. And we're obviously country music's always played a big part in your life. So it is.
Mhm.
And would you say that obviously that was coming from Grandpa?
Yeah, definitely. Without a doubt, it came from Grandpa Pat. Daddy's always said, "Oh, you'll do country music," but Daddy learned from Grandpa Pat, so inevitably it all stems from Granda. I done musical theatre. Well, I still do musical theatre. I dabble in between the two, but country music has definitely stemmed from my Grandpa Pat. Definitely, 100%.
Well, it's a good trait that he has left you. Definitely has been, Cara. And Cara, obviously, then with moving on, Mummy and Daddy has been an absolute rock of Celtic and of yourselves. And I've spoken with your daddy backwards and forwards, and he's an absolute gentleman. And obviously your mummy, Donna Marie. I haven't had the pleasure of talking to her in person, but your mummy is an absolute lady. And I think there there was a special song that you did write a couple of years ago, about for mummy and what mummy had been through. And your mummy has been absolutely a beacon of hope and inspiration for the people of Northern Ireland. And she is the shining light of what has happened.
Yeah, definitely. I think I've learned a lot from Mum. Mum's very much a matter of what happened to me is not going to get to me. She doesn't dwell on it. She's one to not give in to like anything. Like even if she's like she cannot do something, like she'll find a way to do it. But they've both been such rocks, and Mum especially throughout all this. Like Mum hasn't been well this past while, and she's still like itching at my music and getting me this and getting me that and helping out with things in Celtic behind the scene. Like even with her not being well, she still pushes on through it, and I think it just shows, sort of helps me sort of see that there's always hope. Like, and Mum's always instilled that in me. Like the glass is always half full, it's never half empty. Some days I can't see that, but Mum will always be like, "Cara, it's okay."
Yeah.
So yeah, thank God for them.
And
I honestly,
that's always a good. Cara, we sort of lost you there. The last thing we said, last thing we heard was "Thank God for them." Can you repeat? Sorry, Cara, we just missed that out.
sorry, thank God for them. Definitely, I wouldn't be where I am at all without them, and nowhere where I am at all.
Well, enough of me talking, Cara. Have you got something lined up that you're going to give a sing song and a bit of crack for?
Yes, I'm gonna do a wee Tommy Wynette one. Grab the microphone because the music's really loud. I'm gonna do a Tommy Wynette one. This is "Good Girls Are Gonna Go Bad." If it plays.
So this is our Cara McGillion with
I've never seen the inside.
Good Girls Gone Bad, and I'm going to, as you also right there, like how you work away there.
All night long. But I see these other things that bring you pleasure. So I'm gonna make some changes in our home. Well, I've heard it said if you can't beat them, join them. If that's the way you wanted me to be, I'll change if it takes that to make you happy. From now on, you're gonna see different me, because your good girls are gonna go bad. I wanna be that swinging you've ever had. And if you like, I'll paint it up, battered up, but then you wanna be glad, cause your good girls are gonna go bad. I'll even learn to like the taste of whiskey. In fact, I'll hardly recognize your wife. I'll buy some brand new clothes and dress up fancy for my journey to the wider side of life. Because your good girls are gonna go bad. I wanna be there swinging you bad. And if you like all painted up, powdered up, but then you wanna be glad. Cause your good girls are gonna go bad. Oh yes, your good girls are gonna go bad.
Cara, that was absolutely brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. So it was. I'm telling you, the gremlins are in here the night something fierce.
I get them in the studio all the time.
One minute, one minute it's my face, next minute it's your face, and then next thing was there's no one at all. So, we'll get through it. So Cara, obviously, the music and other things like that. But outside of music, what can we find Cara McGillion doing?
Surprisingly enough, and it takes everybody by surprise when I tell them what I be at. I'm actually a boxing coach and a boxing official. I'm a judge as well, so I'm big into my box. I'm big into my boxing. I'm big into coaching. So I do a lot of that outside of music as well, which is it's very strange. People don't usually think that about me now when I tell them I'm boxing. It shocks them a wee bit.
I know Cathal's with you. Cathal, if you're okay, just put a thumb up onto the screen there, please.
He's hiding around the corner. He's not moving.
Wise man. So, with the boxing then, obviously, it takes a bit of a hammering, pardon the pun. So, what age groups do you cover? Do you cover young, or are you covering
I'm covering from I do a young class, which is like 4 till 11, and then I have a senior class then, which is 11 and up, 11 till I think our oldest in the club at the minute might be 27 or 28, so we're right up there.
Well, fair play to you. You learn something new every day.
I know. It shocks people. It's funny because I know Katie's son through boxing as well, and she was like, you do boxing? Like, what? And like anybody else I'm telling them, they're like, that's the last thing I would have thought you'd be at.
Well, but do you enjoy it?
Oh, I love that. Do you know what? It's something different, and it's very good stress relief. I'll say I'm really stressed. Like, I go in the club and I shout and roar at the boys and tell them what to do, and I'm so much better then after that.
Well, fair play to you. Fair play to you. So obviously, then, if you weren't singing, would you be in the ring battering the head out of someone else, or would you leave the boxing sort of to the more of a hobby aspect of things?
Oh no, it would be a hobby without a doubt. There's not a hope. There's not a hope I could get in the ring. Now I box it and I teach everybody how to do it and how to get in the ring, but personally myself, I don't think I can't ruin this beautiful face, Philip. Come on now.
But you never know. These things can take a turn for the difference. You could be the next Brian McGuigan. After all, you're both from Tyrone. No, he was Monaghan. He was Clonus. No, I do apologise.
No. Do you know what? As much as I love it, and I'm ultimately a daddy's girl when it comes to boxing, because daddy's been in boxing and that's how I've managed to get myself involved in it. But no, I'll leave the boxing to the pros, like to the Katie Taylors and the Kelly Harringtons. I'll leave it to them.
So obviously, then, if it wasn't then for the music, what would you be doing then, Cara? Would it be something office based, or would you be out in the road, or what would you be looking to do?
I don't actually think I've ever thought of it like that. What I would be doing about music. I think it's always sort of been about. Gosh, I would probably be. Well, I'm gonna be on my plan. The ultimate plan is to be a teacher anyway, so I'd probably just be solely focused on that. But I can't. I can't think of it without music. I have no idea.
Well, your mummy's in here this evening, and apparently you're too much of a drama queen,
Yeah, that's about right.
according to a comment from you. You wouldn't be a
That's
drama queen, would you?
yeah. No, they tend to reiterate to me quite a lot that I don't live in Albert Square. I live in Crocknacore. I live in Oma. I'm not from Coronation Street, so I need to. Yeah, I would be. I can't lie. Like I can't. I'd be a bad drama queen now sometimes.
But it's good. It's good. Sometimes it's nice you can get a bit of crack and stuff like that going, and you can hear what else is going on. So obviously, then, Cara, we were up then with yourselves then up at Celtic, up in Bundoran, and you were entertainer of the year.
Yes.
And how did that go? How was it? Obviously, it was quite of a shock, but it definitely goes without saying that you do put on a fantastic show wherever you are. And I knew you were down in Newcastle with Uncle Hugo a couple of weeks prior to that, and we were hoping to get down. And then you sort of sent me a picture of the crowds, and I was like, nah, not happening. So it was like definitely a good, no, not a mission. It was like going down there with the crowds down in Newcastle, but with obviously the entertainer of the year, it comes naturally to you.
Yeah. Do you know what? And it's actually very funny actually because I won Young Entertainer and Dominic won then overall Entertainer of the Year, and it's really funny because we both spawn. I would always say that I got my sort of stage presence and my confidence. I started Irish dancing when I was 3 with a man called Master Seamus Kerrigan. So did Dominic Kerwin. And Dominic to this day will say the Irish dancing definitely helps his confidence as well on the stage. So I was always told to hold my head high and float. And I think definitely I just think it's really funny actually that we're both the two that won it because we both have the same background. We both come from the same dancing school. And it was to get up there on that stage and to sing with Ryan Turner Band and with the Glenn Flynn show, it was absolutely amazing in itself. And then obviously to get the award was it just definitely icing on the already very sweet cake. Like
Well, it was definitely well deserved, absolutely definitely well deserved, and to all the country or all the Celtic country that evening, it was absolutely a nice, worthwhile going to. And if anyone gets a chance again to go, definitely go up. It was definitely worthwhile. So, obviously we met through social media, and it's a sort of a question I always ask everyone as to how they have found that social media impacts on their career, both on stage and off stage. And obviously that it does have its benefits, and it really has the pros, but there is also that sort of hesitation of to put something out there. What's the backlash going to be? How have you found that social media has impacted and furthered yourself then, Cara?
social media has definitely helped me. Like I've got quite a few bookings from people that have seen, oh, you done this bar, I seen that on Facebook. Oh, why don't you come here? It's definitely helped me in that sense of the bookings, and it's helped me grow a wider audience. Like obviously I met yourself through social media, and I've met quite a lot of different singers through social media as well. And I've got it's definitely benefited me in the long run. Obviously when you're putting anything out, you get backlash from anybody, everybody. There's always going to be somebody who has an opinion, and I went through a lot when I was younger, in terms of bullying and cyberbullying and stuff like that. So I've just learned now that they're gonna say it anyway, so give them something to talk about. If they're gonna do it, give them something to talk about at this stage. Like I'm just at the notion that it just doesn't. It affects. Obviously, it would affect. I haven't touch wood, to this day, I haven't had anything overly mean in terms of the music online. So I haven't really been through anything like that. But in terms of when I was younger, I'm definitely in the mindset that they're going to talk about it anyway, so just give them something to talk about.
And that's a very good way of putting it, on as painless nicely as saying, be you, and let people find you the way they find you, and if they don't like it,
Yeah,
because
no,
they're going to talk about you anyway, and there's no point if they're going to be that sort of mindset and talk about you and do X, Y, and Z. You're never going to change who they are, and they're the ones that have the problem.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, I suppose I keep going back to when I was younger. I did when I was younger. I used to be in bits. Mum would have to take the phone off me. I'd be in bits about what was said, and then I suppose with Mum's mindset as well. Mum helped me quite a bit. And then obviously when I was starting the music, obviously initially I was like, oh, I don't want to post that. Like, people want to say something, and then literally Mum was just like, Cara, like, I think Mum's instilled that in me. Don't really worry about what people are going to say. Obviously, every young teenager, well, I can't say I'm a teenager anymore, I'm 21, but anyway, every young girl, every young boy that's going out there that's trying to do this, they're always going to have that fear in the back of their head. But honestly, and if I be me, and if people don't like that, then that's their problem, that's not mine.
But never change for who you are.
Definitely not.
No. And if you obviously then going back then to how you felt as a child and putting your music out there and everything like that, if there was someone sitting here, whether it be on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever, or even just going and wanting to go out and busk or anything like that, and they're like that anxiety and that fear and dread of going out, if they don't do it, they're never going to get out there. So what would you say to them for someone who has been in that position and knows how hard it is to feel inside? Look at Cara, she's done it. And look where she's sitting here now. She's Entertainer of the Year. She has her own pull-up screen behind her. She's CDs out galore. She's doing Hugo Duncan. She's doing everything.
Honestly, any young person, be it boy, girl, that is trying to come out, honestly, I know how it felt at the start when I entered competitions, and I actually entered, it was like an Oma's X Factor, and Donna Taggart was one of the judges, and it was like to raise money for a charity, and I remember I'd won it. I was only like 13 maybe. I was only in second year, and the backlash came off that, oh, your mummy and daddy bought your, you're not that good. And at that stage I was like, oh gosh, maybe this isn't for me. But then I just sort of, I went down to what I wanted to do, and I went back to what was in my heart, and obviously in my heart at the time was country music. And I dribbed and drab, I dibbled and dabbled in absolutely everything for a while, and then obviously come when I was 16 and I entered the competition in the Bird's Nest, really, I just sort of threw myself into it. I was like, do you know what? You don't have to worry about what other people are going to say. I know that's easier said than done. Trust me, I've been there. I used to worry. I used to be riddled with anxiety, but I think maybe because I Irish danced for years, it definitely helped. But if they're going to make that jump, I'd say just do it. Like, just make that jump. Like, you'll float. Like, you've got this. Like,
And that's very, very sound advice. Absolutely, really sound advice. And Cara, like, anytime that we've chatted and stuff like that, you're just the one person. You're grounded, you're down to earth, and there's no airs or graces about you. And that's what the stage, this what you see in person and what you see on stage is what you get, and that's what is driving the people to you. And if anyone hasn't seen Cara, hasn't been to any of her shows, definitely.
Do you know what? Like, with mummy and daddy and everything, like, they've always kept me grounded. Like, the people you meet on the way up are the same people that'll pass you on the way down. So I just, I'll never forget where I come from. Definitely not. And obviously I got to do the show last week. Like, no matter where I'm getting, I made time to do that because it's my own hometown at the end of the day. Like, so in my head, it's never forget where you come from, because inevitably on your way up, you're on the way down. Do you know what I mean? So I can't pretend like I've no filter, so I just say it as I say it. Like,
Oh, oh, we know that. We know that, but won't say nothing about that. We'll say nothing about that, girl. So, if there was anyone from previous years or current you could maybe do a collaboration with, who would you want to do it with, and the reason why?
are we talking Irish or American here?
We are talking anything from Michael Jackson right through to Nat King Cole.
Ooh, ooh. I think inevitably I would love to either collab with Dolly Parton. I think everybody says that when they're like me. Dolly Parton, definitely. Her songwriting, she's done it all. She's done her songwriting. She's done musicals. She's done movies. She's done TV. I think I would ultimately love a collaboration with Dolly, 100%. Or even, do you know who else I would love a collaboration with? Tammy Wynette. I love Tammy Wynette.
Yeah.
You don't get, the thing about it is
Exactly.
when you look back at the Honky Tonk Angels and you look back at all that, you don't get country music like that anymore. I love the country music that it is now,
No,
but you don't
get
like.
See the old, as you rightly say, Tammy Wynette, the Hank Williams, Fraulein, Rose Garden, Islands in the Stream, Kenny and Dolly and stuff like that. Proper honky tonky country music. The stuff's coming through now is absolutely fantastic. There's no point saying anything different. But it's when you hear the likes of honky tonk angels or anything like that, that is basically where you come through from. And that is basically the building blocks of all the country music where this all came from.
Yeah, definitely. I was in Nashville a few years ago. I was only 16 when I went at the time. I went with the Only Community Youth Choir. We did a tour of Nashville, and they are very much in their roots, their old country. Yes, all this new country's coming up. You have your Luke Combs, your Zach Bryans, your Ashley Campbells, you've Everham, but they're very much remember your roots. And we got to go to the Country Music Hall of Fame, and oh my god, a life-changing experience, definitely. And we got to sing in the Circle Hall of Fame. It's apparently the best acoustics ever. So we got to sing in that wee circle. It was absolutely amazing. But they are very much their roots. And going through the older exhibit was much bigger than the younger exhibit. And seeing what Rico was at, what Tammy was at, what Johnny Cash was at, it was just absolutely amazing. And they're now very so they don't forget their roots. Like.
Well, you someday you never know. It might be the old Grand Prix or the old Opry for you in Nashville.
Here's hoping. What I got to visit the Grand Ole Opry and I got to actually watch a show. Ashley Campbell was in it, Glenn Campbell's daughter, the night that I was in it, and oh my god, I walked in and obviously I was with a bunch of musical theatre kids, so we were a choir. There was people from every walk of music there. Myself and there was a few others were literally started crying. My friend looked at me like I had 10 heads and she was like, "Why are you crying?" I was like, "Because I'm in the Grand Ole Opry. I'm here. I've watched this on TV. I've seen that microphone stand on TV from I was no age, and I'm actually here. I'm actually looking at it, and I'm actually seeing the band. It's honestly, I bawled my eyes out the whole time. And my friends were looking at me like I genuinely had 10 heads. They were like, "Cara, what is wrong with you?" But it was honestly, it just had something different. Like I couldn't even describe the feeling of being there.
But Cara, you've nothing to. We was just asking you why you were crying and stuff like that. But if you were at a Pink concert, or if you were at a different rave or anything like that, and you were roaring and shouting and screaming and everything like that, that would be deemed acceptable. But because you were at the Grand Ole Opry and you got emotional because you knew the history that came with it, there's no reason why not to be.
Yeah, no, honestly, it was I got goosebumps, genuine shivers. Even to get to Nashville itself, and I went to Nashville. It was the very start of my country music career. So I was only in country music a year or two, and the choir came. It was 20th anniversary actually. They were like, right, we're doing a big trip. I was like, okay, where are we going? They were like, Nashville. I was like, okay. I had only just started country music at the time and only really started properly loving country music and properly it being the sole thing I listened to all the time. And then when I got over there and I seen everything and I got to meet actually the Willis clan, who are very big over there and they've been about Ireland as well. I got to meet them and we got to do a few gigs and we actually sung in the Country Music Hall of Fame like in front of people, and down in Nashville and got to downtown Nashville and seen it all. It was just Nashville definitely was something that cemented my career for me. It was like, right, okay, I'm on the right path here, and it's somewhere I'd love to go back to when I'm the right age to go into all the bars, because you have to be 21 to even walk through the door at any time of the day in Nashville, which I didn't know at the time. I thought I could have just walked in, but apparently it's not like Ireland where you can just walk into a bar at any age. Like, but no, Nashville definitely cemented. This is what I want to do, like 100%.
Well, you're the age now, so
I
nothing
know
like
I'm
you
saving.
going.
If I'm a disaster, I can't
And if,
save money to my
and
life.
if that wasn't a subtle hint of Castle Malcolm,
I've been still. It hasn't got the memo yet, Philip.
Yeah, you haven't hit him hard enough in the boxing ring. That's what your problem. You haven't knocked it into him yet.
That's a good idea. My boyfriend makes about a PSA here. Eat my boyfriend.
So obviously, we're speaking there about obviously the new country side of things, if you want to call it that way, and the old country style of music. If there was anything that you could change in the industry, whether that be getting your foot through the door or getting seen, or instead of being trapped, is there anything you would be able to change, or would you like to enhance in regards to the music scene?
I would love to make it easier for young people coming up. I know, like with myself in Celtic and on the radio, if you listen to my show, it's mainly your Jamie Donnelly's, your Gavin Gribbins, your Sinead Heaney's, even right down to your Darcy Walsh's. I am very much need to give these newcomers a platform, and Celtic in itself are very, very good at giving a platform for young people. But if I could change anything, it would be just make it easier. It's so hard. Like I've been gigging now 2 years in August, and I'm only now really getting out there more and more. Winning the award has definitely helped, but if I could make it easier for newcomers and all those people that want to do it, and make it easier for them to get gigs and make it easier for people to listen to them. Like there's been a few gigs I've been to where people have had to listen to me, and that's how they've grown to like me or to follow my music. But I would definitely make it easier for young people. It is extremely hard industry to crack.
It is. And sadly, it's so saturated.
Yeah.
It's a really saturated industry. And as I said just before, and anyone that knows, this is what we are basically looking to do, is just anyone who wants to promote themselves, just get in, get a bit of crack. We're easy to talk to. There's no airs or graces. What goes, and if it doesn't go, well, to hell with it. We'll get it going. And it's just basically get your music out there and have crack and let people know who you are.
Yeah, do you know what?
Because
I found it really hard at the start. I genuinely, everyone used to tell me, oh, it's so easy to get into country music. Like, you just turn up and do it. Everyone, like, when I was looking at, oh, it's so easy, especially for a girl. I'm telling you now, it is so much harder for a girl. So much harder for a girl. It's still hard for a boy, but it's so much harder, I find, for a girl. Like, I've gone to several gigs, and I'll either bring my daddy, my mummy, or Cahill, and most recently I've become Cahill. But when I started out, daddy would walk into a bar with my speakers, and I might be in the car doing something or fixing my makeup or beautifying myself in some way, and then I'd walk in, they'd be all like to Daddy, "Oh, what are you singing? I sing some Johnny Cash," and Daddy's like, "I'm not the singer." And then I would walk in and Daddy'd be like, "That's the singer," and they'd be like, "Oh, right, okay," and lose interest. And like that's happened a few times. When I started singing, they listened to me then, but I've had a few times where it's been, "Oh, are you a singer?" And they'll go to Daddy and be like, "Oh, you're singing," and Daddy's like, "No, it's her," and they're like, "Oh, all right, okay." But it's like I had to make them listen to me. But I am very much the point, if you don't want to listen to me, I'm still going to sing regardless. Like, so that's what I'm paid to do. So do you know what I mean?
Cara, that is absolutely ridiculous. It is
Well,
absolutely shocking that in this day and age,
I'm not like, I don't know how to say it. I'm not someone that like is overly out there. Like, I won't wear, like, a lot of people want you to be like flashy and out there and wear your sparkly outfits and do all that there. I'm very much, if I'm playing a bar, I'm in jeans and a t-shirt. I am very much, I'm there, I blend in with everybody. I tend not to be also, well, it depends what you're doing. Obviously the Celtic chords are a wee bit different, also a wee bit flashier there, but do you know what I mean? So in that sense, I don't know, it's a lot harder for a girl 100% to get into that industry than it is a boy. But that's just my own opinion. People might have other opinions, but that's just mine.
well, for anyone who, and this is a message from all of us here, if anyone has hired someone to sing, regardless who it is that walks through that door, whether it be a young fella, whether it be a young girl, whether it be an older man or an older woman, you respect them because you have hired them, regardless of their what they are or who they are. That is a person at the end of the day. And to be told on the show in 2023 that a young girl is being looked down upon because of or being a woman is absolutely shameful.
It's shocking the fact that it's 2023 and it still happens
It's
now.
absolutely
It happened a lot
shameful.
before, thank God. And obviously, maybe because I've just stapled myself a wee bit more in the industry, but I know at the start, like, that would intimidate anybody starting out. Now the bars were always lovely, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, but definitely, I won't go to a gig without somebody with me. Be it Daddy, be it Cahill, be it Mum, I will not go to a gig on my own. But that's just personal. I don't want to go to a gig on my own in case something happens. But like, yeah, it's shocking in 2023, but it is getting better. Don't get me wrong, it is getting better from when I first started out. Now I started out when the bars were only sort of reopening from COVID, so maybe that was it. I don't know, but yeah.
Well, COVID or no COVID, they still shouldn't have that presumption. Definitely
Yeah.
not. And Cara, as well, or any young female or female at all should not feel that they're not safe going to a bar to perform. Because, well, put it this way,
No, keep going,
you have
Phil.
the
Sorry.
boxing behind you, so good luck them.
Nobody will touch me. Don't worry. But no, the bar they're unreal. And if I'm going to a new bar, I'll obviously have somebody with me anyway. But do you know what? Sometimes it's really good. But do you ever go into like a bar and it's like a really country bar and it's like they turn around and they all look at you as if to say, "Who are you?" They all love me by the end of it. Like it's so fun. But do you know when you go into a country bar, like a really small town that everybody knows everybody's business, and you're walking in, and you're like, "Hi, I'm a singer." Like it's quite sometimes, but do you know what? I enjoy the gigging so much, and like it definitely outweighs any sort of negativity. It definitely outweighs by the feedback or the positivity. Or usually when you sing your first song, they sort of. But it's great when you get like when you get like an hour in and they get really drunk. It's deadly. They're deadly.
Well, now we're being open and honest. Have you any wild stories to tell about your antics and maybe in a drunken people being with you?
Wild stories. Oh gosh. I've been pulled off the stage in jigs with before. Had that happened recently. I played. Do you know what I did? I needed a wee break, so I played the Tom and Patties because nobody can sing the Tom and Patties like the Tom and Patties. And this week I've literally like flung me off the stage and started jigging me. I was like, alright, okay, but I haven't had anything too wild happen to me, thank God. Touch wood, nothing's happened too wild yet, but I've had a lot of people come up and like try and grab the microphone, and I'm like, no, this microphone's like my baby. Go away.
I'll fight you for it.
Oh yeah, no, it's my baby. Like I am so. Oh yes, Mummy's just texted. I had a Magic Mike show at a gig. Was it 2 weeks ago? These they were like, what was I singing? Whiskey in the Jar or something. They whipped their tops off. I was like, I did not sign up for Magic Mike, and I told them that. I was like, I didn't sign up for Magic Mike. Get your tops back on you. I'm not paid enough for that. There, you just cover up. Thank you. So I've had umpteen shirts whipped off. I don't really know what that gains, but hey ho, let them do what they want to do. Floats their boat.
We're just looking at the comments here at the moment, and it's brilliant to see the amount of people in Cara, and it just really goes to show how loved you are up and down this country. It really, really is. And for a young girl of your age to be so out there and so doing it, absolutely brilliant. And there's just one wee comment there that's sticking in my mind, and it is from Anne Hewitt, and that Donna Marie has raised a beautiful daughter that time has to speak to everyone. And you are an absolute credit to Guy and Donna and the rest of the family. And I know all the grandparents will be extremely proud of where you are. And I know that means a lot to you. And they will be extremely proud, and they'll be looking down with pride and beaming with joy, Cara.
Yeah, oh, it's definitely been, yeah, but that's, to be fair, like, Mum and Daddy have sacrificed so much to get me where I am. I'm not going to tell a lie and say we're not a family that is making money to get where I am. I've had to work for it. Nothing has been handed to me as much as I've wanted it to be handed to me. Nothing's been handed to me. So, Mum and Daddy have sacrificed a lot. Like, there's plenty of Sundays Cormac's been shipped off somewhere, festival, or Cormac doesn't like being in the bars and stuff, but not yet. I know he's only 16. Hope it stays that way. But anyway, so like there's plenty of times he's been shipped off and put away places. They've sacrificed so much for me, and I'm so grateful for all of them. And obviously I have a nanny, I have a granny and granda still here, who are some of my biggest supporters, and my those two of my rocks, my nanny Pat and my granda Pat had passed away. So I suppose that was a bit hard at the times, obviously, but I was only 13 when I lost my nanny, and I hadn't really started in music. Whereas with my granda, that just hit, I suppose, that hit a lot harder, because he was the reason I do country music. And I actually released Whiskey Lullaby with Justin McGurk. It was only a few weeks after granda had passed when that song came out, and I remember, I'll always tell a story. I think it's really, I don't know, it just hits me in here. I went to the grave, and I was like, right. He always had to listen to my songs first. He was like, if I don't hear the sports radio airplay, I don't want to hear it. Like, do you know what I mean? So I went up to the grave and I played Whiskey Lullaby, and it was really dark and cloudy, and there was just like this ray of sunshine shone down where I was sitting, and I was like, all right, okay. Like, that was him giving me a sort of seal of approval. So even on the night of my album launch, like, Nanny and Granda were definitely there. Like, I did it for 2 charities. I did it for a firefighters charity because my granda was a fireman. I did it for Friends of Cancer because my nanny died of cancer. So they are 2 people that are very, very much there, very much in the forefront with me and my music. My family, everybody in my family has sacrificed so much, and I am so grateful for them all. I would be nowhere, be it the cousin that might show up to 1 gig in a year, or singing at a 50th birthday party, singing 2 or 3 songs, like, for family. Like, I would do anything for my family, 100%.
When you can do that, Cara, you can't do no more. When you can do that, you can't do nothing else. And obviously that album launch was up in the Silver Birch Hotel in Oma then, back in October, November last year.
Yes. Posters on the wall up there, actually. So yeah, it was in Lola's in the Silver Birch. It was, oh my gosh, for starters, the lineup that I had, all these people that that wanted to come out and help me. Like, I had Hugo Duncan, I had Lee Matthews, I had Barry Kerwin, Noel Boland, Katie, Justin McGurk, Florence Given, Georgia. I had so many people that came out to support me at my album launch night. Shamie J, MC of the year, Shamie J. I'm delighted to say he played the night. It was such a good crack, and I'll never forget being invited on the stage at my album launch because I had Hugo on my left, Shamie on my right, and I was in the middle. It was the rose between two thorns, is what we called it. So it was such a good night, and I did it in memory of my nanny and my granda because, like I've said umpteen times, and they are the reason I am where I am. So I offered, obviously, money. The door went to my granny and my granda, and I had tables set up with the charity stuff, and the charity was absolutely everywhere. So you weren't going to forget what the night was about, but it was an absolute fabulous night. It was a Wednesday night in the middle of November. I wasn't expecting
midweek.
I was expecting a handful of people, maybe family. That was it. But oh my gosh, we filled Lola's, and I was in shock. I was shook. All these people, like, I had people coming that drove maybe 2-3 hours to get there. Like, Noel Boland come down. Noel Boland's from Carlow, and Kevin Byrne come down as well, and all these people that had come from all these different places to come and support me on that night. I was shocked. I had Anne there. Obviously, everybody has Anne everywhere. I love Anne. Ruth and all were there as well. So honestly, it was such an amazing night, and it's a night I'll never forget. Now, there were so many people there I didn't get to speak to because I was literally running everywhere and everywhere. I didn't get to speak to half the people I should have, but it was an absolutely amazing night. I will never forget it anyway.
No. And it's really, really good for a midweek to be absolutely filled out. And it just goes to testimony of what you are doing.
Yeah, like, we called it the midweek hoolie. Because we were like, we're going to have fun. It's not going to be depressing. It's not going to be sad. It's for Nanny and Granda. We're not going to make it sad. We're not going to make it depressing. The album's very much upbeat. I think there might be 1 or 2 slow songs on it. It's not really. I'm not a slow song kind of gal. Like, people ask me for waltzes, and I'm like, yeah, 1 waltz, there you go. I'm very much upbeat, dancey. I suppose that's. But we made the night very upbeat and lively, and so much, again, social media helped me so much in promoting my album launch. It was all over Facebook, and the artists themselves dragged people to it. So I had Lee Matthews and Hugo. Hugo's going to pull a crowd wherever he goes, let's be realistic, because it's Uncle Hugo and everybody loves him. I had Katie there as well, and I had Noel, I had Barry Kerwin, who's from Oma. Barry and Justin are from Oma. So they were going to pull a crowd, and honestly, I was so, so grateful. The amount of people, because I was like, oh, okay, like, I'm just going to be sort of on, sing a few songs and hop off. They'll be there for everybody else. The amount of people that were there for me and solely for me was absolutely incredible. I remember coming home and sitting. I had 2 of my friends with me at the time. They come back to my house after it, and I remember just sitting on my bed being like, did that actually just happen? Like, have I actually just done that? And they're actually there for me. And the amount of CDs I sold, and I done my USB pens, they were sold as well. And the family that rallied together to help me, my cousin sold raffle tickets, my auntie did the door, the amount of ones that came and helped me set up. So honestly, it was an amazing night. Like, I don't even know how to, like, describe how amazing that night was, but yeah.
Well, you enjoyed it, and that's the main thing.
Oh, 100%.
And if you're enjoying it, don't give up.
I had an amazing band.
So what is next on the cards, girl?
Next on the cards? Do you know what? And I've said this for ages, I would love a band. I'm not saying it's on the way. It's far from on the way. But I would absolutely love to have a band, obviously, and be out with the band. But what's coming up next is I have a single coming off the album. I'm working on releasing a brand new single nobody's ever heard before. I have picked up the guitar again. I'm falling back in love with my wee red Taylor Swift guitar. So
yes, I seen it the other day.
No, look, I have it beside me here. Hold on. It's a wee red. Do you know what? My daddy bought it for me when I was starting out. It's like a wee red. It's like Taylor Swift's red guitar. So I whipped it out yesterday. I was just playing about with it, and I'm definitely falling back in love with that. So who knows? Maybe the guitar will come out with me more. But at the minute, we're 1 step at a time. We're getting ready to launch Dark Tunnel off the album. So yeah, it's exciting.
So, and any gigs then in the pipeline, or how's things looking?
Oh, I actually have a really exciting gig coming up. I'm opening for Rurabullia. I can't say right. I think it's Rurabullia at Cope Fest at the Killybegs Music Festival this year. I'm on at 8, they're on at 9, so I have an hour of warming everybody up, and it's sort of my first. You're going on to warm up for these people. Now I done it last year, and when the Kilkennys were playing, but it was very much a last. I'll be a few songs for the Kilkennys come on. I was like, all right, okay. Never thought anything of it, but this year when the poster come out and Mummy sent it to me, I was like, wait, hold on a minute. Like that actually says like support act. So I'm opening for them on the 12th of August in Killybegs, which I'm absolutely so excited for. And I have the Marriott and Low this year, and there's a few other things in the pipeline that haven't been confirmed yet, so I don't want to jinx them by saying, but it's definitely an exciting. It's holding up to be an exciting year anyway.
Well, that's the main thing, and you'll keep us posted.
Oh yeah,
keep us posted,
100%.
and will you get sharing and get. These gremlins are about again, girl. Go again.
Gosh.
But you'll keep us posted then, Cara, and we'll be listening out to you and seeing where you're at.
Yes, definitely. I post all the time on my Facebook. My Facebook's probably my most active. I've only really come around to using the TikTok now. I watch TikTok, but making the TikTok's a different story, and Instagram as well. I'm sort of coming more around to them because I've been to Belfast, and they're all like, "Oh, what's your Instagram?" And I'm like, "Oh, I literally post like once every 10 years on that thing." But there it is there. So okay, I'm getting used to the old. Mummy and Daddy run the Facebook. I post the odd time, so they're very good at keeping people informed.
Well, that's the best way. So, Cara, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on this evening. Barring a couple of the technical difficulties, I have had an absolute ball. I hope you've had too.
Oh, definitely, I've loved it. I've absolutely loved it. Can't speak now.
It's said to anyone, bit of crack, bit of banter, a bit of music, and a bit of laughter, and sure, that's if we're going to laugh at ourselves, someone else is going to be laughing with us.
Exactly. So, do you know what? I had fun. There was no pressure. I texted Katie this morning. I was like, "Have you any tips?" And he was like, "Just be yourself." I was like, "Yeah, I got that one." But like, there was no pressure. Like, you're so easy to talk to, Phil. But I've said that before. Like it's so fun, and the platform you're giving young people is absolutely amazing. Those people coming up in any genre, is absolutely amazing. So thank you very much for having me and for supporting me.
And the pleasure is absolutely ours. So, folks, I am going to love you and leave you, as you say, in this part of the world. And I am going to hand over for Cara to sing us out. And what is Cara going to sing us out with?
Gonna sing a wee bit of Dolly Parton's Jolene. I said I wanted to duet with her earlier, so we'll close with a wee Dolly one anyway.
Well, folks, this is Cara is finishing up this evening with Jolene. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you in. It's been an absolute pleasure, Cara, to see you again. And don't be a stranger. And we'll be talking to you during the week. And folks, next Monday evening is Stephen Rafferty from Newcastle. And then the week after that, then is Lynn Campbell on the 24th. And then Mary Hoey then on the 31st. So we have a good lineup due for us. But on this 10th of July night, we are finishing off with Throne Girl herself, Cara. And Cara, God bless, and we'll see you soon. All right.
Thank you. Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Your beauty is beyond compare, with the little locks of auburn hair, with ivory skin and eyes of emerald green. Your smile is like a breath of spring, your voice is soft like summer rain, and I cannot compete with you, Jolene. And I could easily understand how you could easily take my man, but you don't know what he means to me, Jolene. He talks about you in his sleep. There's nothing I can do to keep from crying when he calls your name, Jolene. Jolene, 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 Jolene. Take him just because you can. Jolene, Jolene, Jolene. Oh, please don't take him even though you can. I had to have this talk with you. My happiness depends on you and whatever you decide to do, Jolene. You could have your choice of man, but I can never love again. He's the only one for me, Jolene. Jolene, 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 Jolene. I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Jolene, 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 Jolene. Oh, please don't take him just because you can. Jolene, 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 Jolene.
Nothing more we can add to that other than good night, folks. Cara, take care, and we'll see you soon.
Yes, see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.